A black man in chat.
Oh yeah, episode is this 10 or 11 now?
Episode 11.
This is episode 11.
Episode 11.
Did we do an episode 10? I don't even remember now.
That's a good question. I'm pretty sure we did episode 10.
We did do 10.
I'm
What was
pretty
10
sure.
about?
Number 10. What was number 10 about? If you can, write in the chat. And what did you take out from episode 10?
What did you take away from episode 10? I think the reason why is because we've been busy the last 2 weeks. So,
Absolutely, bro.
yeah, we didn't pump the latest episode. There's a little gap in between.
Yeah.
Cool. Episode 11.
Episode 11. Today we're going to talk about jealousy.
Jealousy.
And why it's probably going to kill you if you continue having those jealous ways and jealous tendencies within you. Or sometimes you can be jealous to the point where like you can view it as a good or you can view it as a bad. But then again, too, I would say if you're a jealous person in general, you should probably change your ways, change your habits.
Yeah. I'd say there's key ways to think about jealousy because I think we're all going to have jealousy, right? Either
Absolutely.
of someone else, guy or girl, someone's position, someone's achievements. Like we're all going to get jealous at some point.
At some
But
point.
I think it's how, which we'll talk about today, like how you channel that jealousy to where it can be a positive thing for you, right?
Absolutely.
I don't think you should really have jealousy in your heart, but I think there's ways you can manipulate that emotion to where you benefit from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which would be a lot of fun to step in.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's wild how every single one in life has some kind of jealous tendencies. Even you watching to the point where it's like you can question yourself. Like, damn, I don't want to be this kind of jealous person. And a lot of people that have jealousy within them, it looks like they could be intimidating towards other people. They're intimidated by other people.
Yeah.
To the point where the intimidation can come off as you being jealous.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you change those type of ways to the point where you're not fully jealous, to the point where you're actually respecting other people and you're just respecting other people in general?
Yeah.
Like, man.
You know, speaking of that, what would you say jealousy is? Like what's the emotions, what are the reactions that you have when you can tell in yourself or in others, oh, you're jealous of this other person?
Oh, that's good, Chad.
Yeah, like let's start at the baseline because I don't know. Sometimes I think people are jealous and they don't even realize.
For sure.
You gotta like call yourself out or really do some like deep insight to make sure, like, oh, this is why I'm feeling this way.
Absolutely.
You know, it could be something as simple as your girl or your guy talking to someone else and you hate that person. Like you don't know why, but you're like, I really despise this person. Well, it's because you're jealous because someone you care about is talking to them. It's not like anything beyond a waiter being nice.
Right.
It's nothing beyond, you know, just someone smiling and saying, hey, hope you have a great day. Or, you know, just like those little tiny things that could happen around you. And then you get jealous just because someone interfered with your life.
Right.
If that makes sense. In
Absolutely.
this case, it would be saying hi to your girl. Now you're like, well, fuck. You know, you could just get triggered by it.
Absolutely. I would say when it comes to jealousy, I would say it's pretty much the opposite of being grateful for other people. You know, when you're grateful for other people, the jealous aspect won't fully be within you.
It's very true.
You know what I'm saying? And also, I would say when you're a confident person, you won't feel the need of jealousy of other people, other situations. Yeah, there might be certain situations where you're like asking yourself, man, I wish I can be in that person's position. You know, I wish I could be doing what they're doing. I wish I could be doing what that. It's the wishing factor. But then again, too, it's like, are you willing to sacrifice and do certain things that said person was doing to get that type of lifestyle?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like jealous factors, it can be so detrimental within your own self. And I would say a lot of people have jealousy within them. So I would say, man, in order to adjust your habits, your jealous habits, you have to look. It's gonna be this is an even tough topic to even talk about because I don't have jealousy within me to the point where it's like, but then again, a lot of people out there have jealous factors within themselves.
I think it's because in the last, gosh, I think like decade for each of us, it
Right.
feels like we've worked really hard on combating the jealousy.
For sure.
Like, just say, for instance, unless there's something else you wanted to add, I was gonna go into that
Oh,
whole
I'm
story I
I'm gonna
mentioned
ask
beforehand.
some stuff, but go ahead, Chad. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
Take
say, like,
notes.
just say for like an example. So you're like, okay, what's an example of like jealousy, right? I would say one of them is, I think it was like a year plus ago. There was a new guy that started working at my job, and I made the joke with you. He was Mr. Tall, dark, and handsome, right? And the girls like flocked over him, and I was single at the time. And I met him, thought he was awesome, but then I noticed over time there's something about him that rubbed me the wrong way. Let's just say,
Right.
I was bothered by him. And then what I realized it was I was jealous is because everyone wanted to talk about him. Everyone was saying how awesome he was. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, he's perfect. Oh, his voice was so deep and customers loved him and the staff and the management all gawked over him, right? Wanted to talk to him. People would run up and like start conversations with him. He was pretty much the show.
Right.
And I realized like I had nothing against him. Like he never, did anything to me, but just because he was such an all-star there,
Right. Right.
it made me feel jealous because I'm like, damn. It just started off with a thought where I was just like, oh, he's getting a lot of attention. And then it kind of snowballs a little bit. And you're like, oh, why is he like, why is he getting so much attention? He's not that great. Like you can see how it starts off with something smaller. You're just like, oh, why is everyone always going up and talk to him? Gosh, why are the girls always talking about this guy? And then it snowballs into bigger and bigger. And then if you keep feeding that, it turns into a thing where you're like, I resent this person. Oh, I dislike this person. Oh, you're jealous of this person.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what that formed into. And, I caught myself because I'm like, hold up. Okay, why am I feeling this way regarding this person? Right. Because I'm like, this guy's done anything wrong. When I talk to him, he's cool. And I found out, oh, it's because I started feeding into jealousy.
Right.
I was
Feeding
jealous that
jealousy.
he was tall, that he was fit, that he was getting all these girls' attention.
Yeah.
That he was personally developing because you can just tell when someone's doing that. And then it just made me realize, oh, and this is what I was talking about, like with channeling, jealousy. It's like, okay, what has this guy got that I don't? Okay, he's more fit. Okay, he's a little more talkative. He's a little more confident. Well, that's all stuff I could personally work on.
For sure.
So when I see someone and I'm jealous of them, what I like to do is like to take that energy and convert it into, okay, what's something that they got that I could work on myself? It's kind of like a mirror. That's
Yeah.
how I
Yeah.
kind of view it. If
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this guy's getting all this attention because he's hitting on, or what's the word I'm looking for right here? He's got all of his ducks in a row. What's like a better
Okay.
phrase would you say for that?
I would say he's the shit.
He's the shit. He's the man.
shit. He's the main man.
Yeah, he's the man. And I'm like, damn, like since he's the man, I'm realizing areas that I'm slacking on.
Yeah.
So I need to become the man.
Right.
So I see how I pull myself with that jealousy. So I stop being jealous, but I use that as motivation and encouragement for me to better myself. Because you always can. You can always look for ways to better yourself,
Absolutely.
you know?
That's deep, Chad, because there's a lot of people that they don't have that kind of mindset that you have, Chad. A lot of people out there, they don't have the mindset to where you can look at someone and you might have some judgment, and and you're asking yourself like, man, how did that person, why is he getting so much attention? Why is he considered to be the shit? Why do all these girls want him? Man, look at the way he's carrying himself. It's like you weren't really judging him in a negative frame. You weren't even really fully jealous to a degree because you were taking that as motivation. That's another way you can take it. Like we said, when it comes to someone that looks better and they're getting more attention than you, yeah, you can just breathe in and you can just say, damn, I wonder why are they getting so much attention? Why? How?
Yeah.
You should read what they're doing and you can copy and paste on what they're doing to a certain degree, right?
And that's exactly what I did.
Exactly.
I remember I actually pulled him aside a few times and I had conversations. I'm like, dude,
that takes
can
courage.
I ask you something? Yeah, and I wasn't like, he wasn't like intimidating to talk to too. That's what I mean. He was just a really, really cool guy. But I remember I pulled him aside and I was like, hey, dude, can I have an honest talk with you? And he's like, yeah, what's up? And I was like, I noticed that you're really, really good with girls. I was like, what's advice do you have? Like, just say someone younger than you. What would be some pointers and some things that you learned on your journey? And then he like just opened up and he started sharing. And that's another thing I think that jealousy stems from is like the lack of knowledge.
Right.
So when you see somebody, you see that he's Mr. Perfect or she's Mrs. Perfect, and you're just seeing one side. But it's amazing, like once you break the ice and talk to that person, because I notice a lot of jealousy comes from afar.
For sure.
It comes from observing and going, oh,
Judging the book by its cover.
judging the
pretty
book by
much.
its cover and judging from afar.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, if you break the ice and talk to that person, you realize, oh, they have faults. Oh, I
Absolutely.
had like this facade image of you, but this isn't really you.
Right.
So like during conversations like that, I'm like, oh, he's just a dude, you know? And then like he was, sharing his feedback on just what he learned. And that's another big thing with jealousy is if you are jealous of someone else that you see as, better than you in some way, maybe some fitness goals, or maybe he's a little more intelligent, or he's just very knowledgeable. Why don't you talk to them and figure out like what they know?
Absolutely.
And then that could help elevate you to where you're no longer jealous. Now you're bettering yourself
Right. Right.
to where you're on their level and now you're not jealous.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful thing. I hope you guys are taking notes. Because Chad's over here dropping gems for you guys. you know, and at the same time, though, you have to gain some type of confidence.
Yeah.
It's everyone's not going to go out there and just strike up some conversations, especially with someone that they're intimidated by, or they have some jealousy by, so you have to gain some type of confidence.
Yeah.
But how do you gain that type of confidence to drop the jealous aspects and the ego, right? You have to work on yourself. You have to work on yourself and just tell yourself straight up. Just tell yourself, they're not better than me. We're both human.
Yeah.
He's white, I'm black. Okay, he's handsome, I'm handsome.
Yeah.
It's like, but we're gonna ask each other questions to gain each other's knowledge and see where you're coming from, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not fully jealous of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, jealousy is gonna occur.
Yeah.
Jealousy is gonna occur frequently. It could be to the point where people are being jealous of you, like on social media, and you don't really realize that they're jealous of you until somebody that you actually know reaches out to you and says, "Look, I had no clue that this person had beef with you," and you're like kind of stumped. Like I had no clue. I thought we were
cool
cool.
to my face. Yeah.
It was cool in my face. So
Yeah.
we all shook hands in person. And that's what jealousy can do to someone. Jealousy can truly kill you if you go that route.
And see,
You
that's
know?
something that you discovered is when you're jealous and you leave that unchecked, you start blabbering. You start talking to people about other people behind their back.
The gossip
And you
begins.
might be Mr. Polite and friendly to their face, but then behind their back, you're talking crap. Those
Right.
people will talk, and then that word will eventually get back to them, and now your reputation's tarnished
For sure.
because you're known as the shit talker.
Right.
You're known as the person that is polite to the face, but then two-faced. Behind closed doors, now you're someone else.
Right.
Or just for this person, you're someone, and then you're someone else over here.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a great way to push people away.
For sure. And at the same time, it's like when you truly know yourself and if you truly love yourself,
Mhm.
you'll understand that people are going to talk regardless.
Mhm.
People are going to be jealous regardless. People are going to love you regardless, right? There's going to be love and hate when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
Regardless of who you are,
Yeah.
regardless if you're a popular person, you're an introvert, extrovert. However, don't let the jealous aspects and factors within other people make you to be like a negative person. Because of course, there's certain times, I'm sure, Chad, where people were talking about you to the point where it's like, man, am I really that person? If you know yourself and you know you're a positive person, you shed light on people, you mentor people, you coach people. It's like, no, you're doing certain things for a good cause.
Mhm.
But even if you're doing something positive, people are going to be talking, people are going to be jealous, people are going to be talking nonsense about you and whatnot, right?
And people will misunderstand where you're coming from.
Right.
Like, just say you being nice and being a light in this world, they might think just because they don't know you that you have some alternative motive or you can't be that nice.
Right.
It's just like, I'm trying to think of like a great example. If you do something kind for someone else, like just say in the service industry, a server goes above and beyond, right? And then like just say there's like a party of 5. There could be an older couple that goes, oh, they're just trying to be nice just because they want the tip, right? They want to increase their tip, right? And in reality, the server's just being nice and polite just because that's just who he is.
Right.
He likes his job. He likes making people's day. He's just a very polite and friendly person. A lot of people think, oh, it's like a front or a fake mask. Like, remember, I don't know if you remember her. It was the girl that when you came and ate at my job.
Yeah, yeah,
I won't say names just because it's a podcast,
for sure.
but she was telling me that she's very bubbly, outgoing, positive, excited about life. And so many people will try to bring her down for being who she is,
Damn.
stemming from jealousy, right?
Right.
She's a happy person. It's Tuesday and it's a morning and you're happy. A lot of people are not. So they want to try to pull you down because they're jealous of you.
Right.
And she said she had to go through a whole bunch of just like inner work just to realize, like, oh, that's on them.
For
So
sure.
not only does your jealousy affect yourself, it could bleed over and hurt others. Kind of like what you said with that whole little Instagram thing where you found out someone was talking smack behind your
For
back.
sure. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you second guess yourself. You're like, where did this come from?
Right.
So that's actually something to be aware too, is if someone is trying to come at you, no, it might be from jealousy or just a lack of understanding of who you are.
Exactly. And that can also stem from there's jealous factors everywhere. People can be jealous of Chad and myself starting this podcast, even though we're so fresh in with this, you know. But at the same time, if you don't get started with something, the more you're gonna have that kind of resentment towards others if they're doing something that you always wanted to do. Oh man,
That is very true.
right. It's like if you're at the gym and then you see a good looking girl, and then you're with somebody else it's like you're an acquaintance. It's not really like your friend, but you're with him because he wants to see what kind of workouts you do. And then the girl comes up to you and she says hi to you, starts a conversation with you. Your acquaintance can be kind of looking some type of way, like, damn, how is Kevin Wall pulling this beautiful girl right now? Oh my gosh, he could be telling himself that, and then he can feel some kind of type of way, right? Some kind of jealousy. And then a few days pass. I'm not at the gym, but he's at the gym and he sees the same girl. And then he can go up to her and start talking certain things about me, saying certain things about me, negative things about me.
Oh,
And
you see a lot
boom,
of guys
he
do
gets
that.
it happens all the time. And I witness it too.
Yeah.
It's crazy because one of my buddies, we were both at the gym one time, right? And this girl came into the gym with her man, and she waved at him. She waved at my buddy. He waved at her back. And next thing we know, as soon as the other guy goes into the basketball gym, the guy's girlfriend goes up to my buddy and starts conversing with him.
Mm.
And that's the thing, is that the guy that was playing basketball, the boyfriend, he started to get certain jealous tendencies within himself
Yeah.
to the point where it's like, no, your girl wants to go talk to my buddy as a friend, like friendship, because they've known each other longer than these two have been together.
Yeah.
So if you're like kind of judging, like, oh my gosh, man, my girl's going, he's talking to that girl, dude over there and whatnot. It's like, yo, do you even know the whole situation behind why
There
she
you go.
even went to go talk to
There you go.
that guy? You know, if you don't ask questions, or if you don't even go introduce yourself to this guy that your girlfriend's waving hi to, in a professional man-to-man, you know, handshake manner, it's like you're for sure gonna be jealous within. It's like to a point where you're like, what the heck? Why is he doing that? But then
Yeah.
again, too, it's like you have to just go out there and ask certain questions to certain individuals. It's like, why be jealous in that aspect when, if you aren't confident that your girl is actually a loyal and trustworthy girl?
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's really great. And that kind of loops around like back to what you said originally. Like as soon as we started this,
Yeah,
you said it could kill you.
for sure.
It could also damage your relationships. Like in this case, you know, if you didn't have all the knowledge, it would sound like that girl is being unfaithful from that guy's perspective.
Right.
Right. So jealousy, I think, I think in that regard, jealousy is a good tool to be like, oh, this is telling me something.
Right.
Use jealousy to have it like tell you something like, okay, why am I feeling this certain way regarding my girl talking to this guy?
Right.
Well, you should investigate and ask questions. So that's kind of like a trigger where it's like, oh, I'm feeling this way. I should get to the bottom of it, not like be an asshole about it.
Right. Right.
But just go up to her and say like, oh, hey, who's that?
Straight up.
Find out some information, or go meet him after you're done playing the game and be like, oh, hey,
Right.
you know, her name was Sarah or whatever. Oh, Sarah told me a lot about you. I'm chatting, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
Then you can fill in the gaps.
for sure.
But if you don't, they might have had a fight after that.
And you want to know what's crazy, Chad? Because
What's
Chad's
that?
over here reading my mind
Oh, we're reading each other's mind.
because everything is stemming off of jealousy in this episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what actually was about to happen afterwards. So my buddy went inside the gym and he took off his backpack and he was just looking at the dude while he was playing basketball. You know, he was talking some trash and whatnot. And then after the game, the guy came up to my buddy. He shook his hand. He said, "Look, bro, I'm not sure if you actually know my girl or whatnot, but the way you approached her, I didn't like it." And then they kind of talked it out. And then my buddy confronted him. He said, "Yo, bro, it looks like you're just jealous, man, because your girl was waiting at me, and then she came up to talk to me."
Yeah.
And I respect her already because I already knew she had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And that's what can happen. You guys can judge so quick.
Yeah.
Rather than asking certain questions so you actually know certain things.
Yeah.
If you guys don't ask certain questions, it's like, yo, you're for sure gonna be jealous.
Absolutely.
It could kill you too.
It could kill you.
Change your mindset.
Yeah.
Stop being so damn jealous because you never know the whole picture if you don't investigate it properly, right? Investigate it properly.
Exactly. And see, that's cool. Let's just say like an alternate reality.
Yeah.
Let's just say she is a little unfaithful or she's a little promiscuous, right? Let's just flip the script, right? Okay, he sees her go and talks to this random guy. He gets jealous.
Yeah.
And then he uses that once again. He uses it to be like, okay, I need to get to the bottom of why I feel this way. And then he can go and approach her and talk to her.
Right.
And if he doesn't like what he hears or there's more red flags going off, don't get jealous anymore. Now you got a relationship problem.
Exactly.
You got to figure out what's going on
You
there.
got some trust
But see,
issues.
triggers can stem from jealousy. It lets you know something isn't right and you're just lacking knowledge.
Right.
So let's get to the bottom of it. So like in that situation, alternate universe,
Yeah.
you know, maybe he finds out, oh, you know what, this isn't the right woman because I felt a certain way one day. And then instead of just flashing out emotionally, not knowing the whole, the whole story, I stood my ground, stayed, level-headed, and then I got to the bottom of it where I see the whole board, and now I can make a logical decision.
Absolutely.
Either put her in check,
the right way,
put her on notice.
The right way. Put her in check the right way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Put her in check as in like, hey, I saw you did that. And after you find out everything, be like, hey, that's not really cool. That makes me feel uncomfortable.
Right.
And if whatever happens from there, happens from there. But we're just trying to stay on focus with the topic.
For sure. With jealousy.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, let that be a tool for you.
For sure.
That's pretty much what I want to get at today is like just that jealousy is like a really good tool.
Yeah.
And like you said, like just avoid the pitfalls of messing up your life with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's another thing when it comes to jealousy, it can also trust. Trust goes a long way when it comes to someone not being jealous. Like in this certain situation, like let me just talk about some other situations when it comes to like relationships and whatnot.
Yeah, let's jump around.
When it comes to like what I've noticed in my life, I've had a lot of beautiful girlfriends, beautiful ex-girlfriends. And I've noticed whenever a guy, it's easy to tell if a guy's jealous or not, especially if they have a good-looking girlfriend. If the girlfriend's getting so much attention to the point where the guy's getting so jealous and whatnot, to the point where it's like he can't handle the attention that she's getting, you guys can't, look at fellas, you guys can't handle that. It's to a point where if you can't handle that situation, you don't need that beautiful looking girlfriend. Or if you want to have that beautiful good looking girlfriend, you have to work on yourself to the point where you need to understand that she's going to get attention regardless.
Yeah.
Like it's 2023. Girls are getting attention regardless if they're on social media, if they're going on in person, especially if they're good looking, right?
Yeah.
So you have to work on yourself.
Yeah.
To the point where you need to respect. Of course, the respect goes a long way as well. But at the same time, it's like, why are you getting so jealous when you pick that girl? When you pick that girlfriend?
And she chose you too.
And she chose you too.
Yeah.
So why are you getting so jealous when she's getting certain male attention? At the same time, she trusts you. But do you trust yourself?
Yeah.
Do you trust yourself out there? It's like I've been noticing that a lot of the guys are putting a lot of blame on women when it comes to like the whole jealous aspect. It's like, man, look, if you can't handle a good looking person, man or woman, You have to work on yourself.
Yeah.
You're the blame, not the beautiful looking girlfriend that you have.
Not all the guys that
Not
give her attention,
right.
right, wrong, or indifferent.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's where it's like, man, if you don't trust yourself, you're probably not going to trust other people
Yeah.
to the point where you're going to be having some kind of jealousy within yourself. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah. And I like where you're going with that because it sounds like this form of jealousy kind of stems from like an insecurity. Like in this
Boom.
situation, if he sees his girl talking with a guy
Yeah.
and he somehow perceives this guy as better than himself, right? Maybe he's more fit, a little more intelligent, funnier, whatever you want to say. Then it's like he's jealous of this guy, which is now harming the relationship because he's jealous.
Right.
Where instead he should just focus on just being the best option out there for her.
For sure.
Because if he's like, I got all my stuff together, it comes to a point where if she did want to leave or whatever, you're just like, okay, I'll go find someone else.
For sure.
And if you're running on all cylinders as a man, I mean, you get women's attention all the time. So it's just like
Absolutely.
what she's getting on her end. She's getting all this guy attention because she's got all of her T's crossed, all of her I's dotted. She's
Yeah.
got everything going for her. So you as a man have to do the same thing, like get on that level
For sure.
mentally where it's like, oh, I get all the attention too, but I'm still faithful for her.
Right.
I know that's a huge thing too. Is just keep
Absolutely.
leveling up. Don't slack in areas, especially like you were saying, like in this example, having a beautiful partner.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you really have to step up. Otherwise, someone else, could come in the picture and make you jealous.
And pull that snatch.
that snatch.
Unfortunately, man.
Yeah.
But then again, too, see, if that ever happens where you're wondering, like, man, I don't know how I got this good looking partner. I don't know what she saw in me. She saw something in you to begin with,
Hmm.
And I'm sure she got with you to begin with because you were that confident. You were that guy. You were that confident man to the point where it's like you were working on yourself, going to the gym, improving yourself, personal developing, self-care and whatnot. And then you got that girl. And then you got comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Being comfortable can then stem from jealous factors.
Yeah.
Right. It's like if I have a beautiful girl and I'm just relaxing all day, I'm getting fat, I'm eating hot Cheetos, drinking some Mountain Dew. And then after a while, it's like she's gonna start losing interest in me to the point where I go out with her out in public and I see other dudes that are looking good and she's looking at that guy too. And it's like vice versa. I'm gonna start getting a little jealous. But why is that? Because you got so damn comfortable.
You started slacking.
You started slacking.
You stopped being the main focus of your life is working on yourself.
Right.
Leveling up, winning.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to continuously try to win in life.
Yeah. Like I can't imagine you being super jealous if you're continuously getting wins in your life.
For sure. Exactly.
And so it's like, how do you combat jealousy? Well, process it the right way, see where it's coming from. But yeah, like you said, if you're working on yourself and you're just so focused on your grind, your hustle, your life, all the things you have to look forward to, how is there room for jealousy to enter your life?
Right. Exactly.
Because you're like, I'm the man,
Exactly.
and then so like relationship insecurities disappear, jealousy insecurities pretty much non-existent because you're just so focused on the incredible life you're building.
Right. Damn, so good. So good, Chad.
Yeah. I like how we feed off each other in this.
Take notes, man. I'm telling you. And that can also stem from just being grateful for other people. I'm so grateful for other people's wins. I'm so grateful for, my coaches, my mentors teaching me certain traits to the point where I don't need to be jealous because now I'm winning in life, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you have a good association and you hang around with winners, that everybody wants to be like them. I want to be like them.
Yeah.
Damn. I don't know how they're getting so much attention. I know that person, Chad, he can talk to whoever he wants. Man. Yeah, if I'm learning from Chad, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna have any jealousy within my heart. Because now I'm like literally associations, everything, right?
Yeah. And I think that's what's really powerful about the association too, is it shows you like what the potential is.
Exactly.
Like that's like I remember one time when we went to Seattle, or was it? It was the place below Seattle. We had that
Tacoma,
hotel,
Tacoma,
yes.
yeah.
And I remember this is like one of the times I was like, Kevin, I forgot how the conversation started, but I'm like, Kevin, you're so damn good with girls. Tell me it all, right? And then he just opened up and he shared everything. Right?
Yeah,
You know, this guy, like literally at the gym today, I saw you there, right? You saw me.
yeah.
I saw you actually before you saw me doing the pull-ups.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you were talking to some beautiful girl. I'm like, yeah, this guy's got it going. I wasn't jealous though,
Right,
because I've converted that long time ago
for
to be
sure.
like, wow, that's like what the potential is,
Damn.
you know? And so how do I engage in that potential? Why ask you questions? And so like that night at Tacoma, I was asking you, so like, tell me your story. Like, when did you start talking to girls? What did your journey look like from a little kid up to now? And then you told me story after story, situation after situation, win after loss after win. And it's like,
For sure.
yeah, like you shared, and I was like, oh, I see why you're good with girls now. I don't just look at it from one narrow slice and be like, gosh, he just gets all this girl attention. It's like, no, you worked on it for decades,
For sure.
decades.
And
Hard
that's
work.
and that's the thing too, Chad. It's like, and that's the thing, Chad. It's like, man, not even just talking about women,
Mhm.
but we could just talk about just growth in general and just being that person.
Confidence.
That
Yeah.
confidence that
You-
people
you
just want to
talk
be.
everybody.
Right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, humbly speaking, you have to
Mhm.
be humble.
Yeah. And that's like where I'm coming from too, is like that confidence, like talking to girls. It's usually one of the biggest insecurities for men, right? Especially a beautiful girl.
Right.
You get a little choked up, you get little butterflies, you know, it's all good, right?
It's all
But
good.
like when you look at Kevin perform, right? Just exist and just live his life. He's so embodied in confidence because of just how much work you put into it. And that stems into, like I said, like girls and like talking to dudes, looking for job opportunities, talking to complete strangers. Like all these doors are open and inviting to you because of who you built yourself to be.
Right. Right.
So when someone outside would look at you, I can see how they could get jealous. Little nasty message on Instagram or something. But it's like that's just where it comes from. It just comes from a place of jealousy because this man has put in the work, someone else has not. And then in process, knowing Kevin correctly, so then they become jealous.
And that's the thing, Chad, is that
You know, keep an eye out for when you do that with people around you in your life. You could be jealous of your dad, you could be jealous of your brother, you could be jealous of, gosh, a roommate, a classmate. You know,
Right.
just figure out where that's coming from, and then you can do this curiosity approach where you just ask that person questions.
for sure.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like you gotta ask yourself, why am I getting jealous? Why am I
Yeah.
jealous of this situation?
Yeah.
Why am I jealous of this person? Look, we're all different people.
Mhm.
We all put in a certain type of work every single day when it comes to building ourselves up. Some people don't work on themselves at all. The majority of people don't work on themselves at all to try and get better, right?
Yep.
Like what Chad was saying about me, yeah, I might be good with the females and whatnot. Okay, it's all good, whatever.
How about good at talking to people?
Good at talking to people when
Great at talking.
I might be good at talking to people, but it's not. I never take full grant for myself to the point where it's like I did it all by myself. No, I didn't do it all by myself. It took practice. It took trials and tribulations. It took
Yeah.
going out there and failing and stumbling. You know.
Yeah.
It took to the point where, yo, I need a certain association. I need certain friends to get me to that kind of level.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy because a lot of people they can't do public speaking. I'm pretty sure that's like a man's number one fear is like public speaking. They can't really do it.
Yeah.
You know, they can't even do this type of podcast where random people are walking by us here and there.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that confidence within, right? And then they'll get jealous of certain individuals that are actually putting in the work, which can be a sad thing. If you don't put in the work, you're most likely gonna get jealous of someone that's actually putting in the work. So why don't you go out there and put in the work?
Yeah.
Have some confidence, man. Associate with winners. If you're, why would you want to associate with losers when those losers are most likely going to be the jealous type of people that you don't want to associate yourself with to begin with?
It's actually very
Man.
true too. Is like you got to keep an eye out for your association. Like if you're a jealous person and you're trying to like get away with that, should keep an eye on the people that you associate with the most and see like if they just nonstop talk about things relating to jealousy, or other bad habits. But we touched base on that before, and we'll touch base on that again in the future.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's like once again, you're gonna be a product of your association.
for
It's like
sure.
in your situation, people could be jealous of you because you put in the work, the blood, sweat, and tears, as they like to say, right?
Right.
And so it's like they didn't. And when you're winning, it's like that mirror analogy I used earlier, where if you see someone winning,
Yeah.
you're like, oh yeah, screw that person. It's because you're hurt. It's because you know you're not
Man,
fulfilling your potential, and therefore you are jealous.
change
Like you see
yourself.
that all the time with like movie stars. Like people just like flat out say the weirdest things, the meanest things to like movie stars, athletes, people in business, people in just on TV, on
People that
streets.
are winning.
People that are winning. You're gonna have your set of critics, right? Oh, I don't like their podcast. That podcast sucks. Oh, I don't like his movies. His movies suck. It's like you got to the root of it. Maybe that's truly your opinion, right? And that's totally cool.
Change your heart.
Or maybe you might be jealous.
Right.
It's like, is that really how you want to live? Because it's killing you.
It is
It's
killing you.
damaging you. It's affecting you, and you're just negative. I don't think life is really that great when you're just in the negative pool of emotions all the time.
Absolutely, man. It's not. It's nowhere. It's nowhere to be. You like
Yeah.
to be in that kind of predicament. It's like you're probably gonna die quicker than you would expect or you'd want. Because you have so much hate and jealousy within your heart. It's like, yo, be grateful, be happy, man, that other
Yeah.
people are winning, even if you might not be winning. It's all good.
That's actually a great way to put it too. That's actually something we should touch base on is
Yeah.
when you see someone winning, be happy for them.
Be happy.
Be
for
grateful
them.
for them.
You're
know?
next.
Yeah, you see someone breaking a record or do something cool that you're possibly jealous of, just be like, man, that's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome. Good for you. Even go compliment them. You'll be surprised how you can be jealous. Actually, notice this. This was like a little thing I did back in the day. Whenever I was jealous of someone,
Yeah.
I would compliment them.
Damn.
Be like, dude, that was really cool. You did that. And then it kind of feels freeing because your brain's trying to tell you, oh, you should be jealous. You should say something negative or think something negative.
Right.
But when you
freaking
verbalize
brain.
something positive,
Yeah.
it changes you. It almost diffuses it almost immediately.
Right.
So if you're jealous of that girl or whatever, if you're a girl yourself watching this, compliment the girl you don't like, and you'll realize that it changed. My girlfriend actually did that. She told me a little funny story. I won't get too much into it, but
Yeah.
there's like someone at her job she dislikes, and she's like, you know what I did? I'm like, what'd you do? I said, I went up to them and said, hey, because they're leaving, right? They're
Right.
quitting, moving somewhere out of state for college. And she's like, hey, we're gonna really miss you here. I hope the best for you. And she's like, just like that, her jealousy or just negative emotions toward this person just disappeared.
Wow.
I don't think a lot of it was jealousy. I think some of it was, in fact, like genuine, like, oh, that person's a bitch.
For sure.
But just like letting go, living a healthier, thankful life, right? Like you said, being grateful. She's like, wow, I feel better. And that person like got teared up and came and approached me later.
That's crazy.
And it was just like, oh, you know what so-and-so said? I'm like, yeah, what'd she say? And then she told me, it was like, now that person, yeah, it's a totally different dynamic now.
Right.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens when you put in a little bit of work.
Put in a little work, right? And
A little work.
just changing your mindset.
Yeah.
To the point where it takes a lot of courage to do what your girlfriend did.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, it's like, who wants to go up to someone that they kind of feel intimidated by, or they have some jealousy within
Yeah, they didn't
themselves.
see eye to eye. They had little sputes here and there.
Right.
That type.
Right. It's like, it takes a whole lot of courage.
Yeah.
And once you actually do certain things like that, get outside your box and do certain things like that and bless other people, you're going to feel great within yourself to the point where it's like, damn, why was I jealous about that person before?
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm great. I'm great myself. That person is great. We're all great.
Yeah.
We're all going through certain different paths and journeys, but at the same time, it's like, yo, you're doing great. You're doing a great job out there. There's no need to be jealous. There's no need to be jealous of that person at the gym that looks better than you.
Full put.
Because like you can go out there and look better than them too. It's like, by the same time, it's like,
You got your own strengths and positives too.
right.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's like, who's your competition, right? your main competition should be who you were yesterday.
Yeah.
And then you can continuously work on yourself to the point where you won't fully feel the need to just be so jealous of other people that are winning in life, look better than you, talk better than you, can do better things than you. It's like we all have our certain strengths and our own gifts and blessings. There's no need to be jealous. I promise you guys that. Go out there and just be amazing. Be an amazing person.
Yeah.
Compliment someone today. Tell
Absolutely.
someone that they look great today.
Absolutely.
Man,
I would say, I don't know, this might be just food for thought, or maybe this is something you want to try at home. I just thought of this on the spot. Remember watching this video, and this one guy was talking, he was saying, like, the only person you should be at war with is the person who you imagine yourself being the best. And that's like your arch rival, that's your
Take
villain,
notes.
right? Is the person that's always winning, who wakes up, bright and early in the morning, gets their work done, making the risks, taking the chances, like everything that you wish you were yourself. Like that's the only person you should be jealous of. And when you wake up every morning, they're out there already winning. When
For
you
sure.
wake up and it's the weekend, so you slept until 11 or whatever, maybe a little bit later, we all been there.
1 p.m.
Yeah, 1 p.m. But just know, like, that version of yourself, the one that's potential, is out there kicking your ass.
Damn.
That should be like a good form of jealousy where you're like, you know what? The version of Chad that goes to the gym 7 days out of the week, eats healthy, has a lot of wins, making risks, doing a lot of good work. I should be jealous of him,
Wow.
but he's me.
Right.
So I should be motivated to do the things I said I should do because he's doing them.
Absolutely.
Somewhere in the alternative universe, let's just say, right? As a joke.
Deep.
Yeah.
And that's crazy too, Chad, because like if you've already experienced and lived through that person that you've always wanted to be,
yeah.
Like say for instance, if you're going to the gym 7 days a week, you're eating right, you're going out there, you're talking to random strangers, you're seeing if someone's looking for more opportunity in life, drop the message per se. You're just living a fruitful lifestyle, right? And then next thing you know, you kind of get lazy. The next few weeks you kind of get lazy because certain things happen within your life. Yeah, then you could be jealous of the person you were the previous 2 weeks to the point where it's like, man, I was doing everything back 3 weeks ago. Man, I wish I could be that person again, man.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because once you tell yourself certain things like that, if you've already done it, you could do it again.
It's there.
It's there. You can live that lifestyle once again. You can obtain it once again.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you have to. Chad, Chad got me about to start thinking even deeper now because that was so deep, man. To be jealous of yourself because you've already accomplished certain things that you've always wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
But then again, too, we all have our certain days where we don't want to go to the gym today.
We have our slumps like we had 2 episodes ago.
Right. Slumps in the dumps, but at the same time, it's like, yo, if you already lived that lifestyle where you want to be that person again, because you were doing awesome, it can happen again. Yeah.
Yeah, the potential's there.
Potential's there.
Yeah. I hear sometimes like, oh yeah, I was super fit in high school, or oh, I was super fit in college.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you have the potential to go back to that.
Because you want
your body's different. Yeah, your digestive system is different, right? Because you process food slower or whatever. There's always these excuses.
Right.
Well, why don't you be jealous in a positive way where it's like, you know what? There's a version of me out here today.
Right.
That is not full of excuses, and is out there winning, and he has the body like he did a decade ago when he was in college or in high school.
Right.
It's like just look for ways to reframe things.
Absolutely, man.
Just like the word jealousy. It's like, yeah, I think jealousy is actually a very positive thing. It's a human emotion where we have it embedded in us for some reason.
Right.
And it's like you can use it to your advantage, or you can use it to be one of the things that stops you from moving forward.
Deep.
Yeah.
You pick how you want to live your life when it comes to jealousy.
Yeah.
You have to go with the route of the jealousy being a positive aspect within your life. And what you were saying, Chad, is so damn deep, man. I'm gonna continuously tell myself that too. It's like, yo, 2 months ago, I was killing it. I'm gonna kill it again, man. I'm gonna get back to that stage, that level, and then some.
Yeah.
Right. Because you always want to one up yourself. one up for yourself. You can't stay stagnant, man. You got to continuously push yourself. Keep on pushing yourself to the point where it's like, yo, I'm not jealous of no one, really, man. I'm grateful because I was challenging myself, and now I'm even better than myself, my previous self.
Yeah.
I'm sure that past self before is jealous of me now. I'm doing even better and bigger things now.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if things happen in your life up to this point, right? Like crazy things to say, you could still find the wins and the victories.
For
You
sure.
know, there's nothing that has happened up to this point that should be so debilitating that you can't get some wins. That you
Right.
can't be positive. They can't be excited and enthusiastic about life.
Absolutely.
Just countless episodes of TED Talks and just random things. So you hear someone go through like the worst that life could possibly throw at you, and they found the positive and they changed their life. And now they're better.
Right.
There's no room for jealousy there.
None at all, man.
None at all.
None at all.
Yeah.
There's no point of just being jealous of other people, especially when they're winning in life.
Be grateful for them.
Be grateful, man. Be
Yeah.
grateful for go compliment people, like I was saying.
Yeah.
It's like even if people that say, for instance, if you're watching like basketball and you're just kind of jealous, like, man, how did he get to that level? And you person kind of know someone that's on like a certain team and you didn't get picked for the basketball team back then when you guys were in high school, but now that person's on the big screens again. He's famous, making millions. Be grateful for that person. He put in more work than you. She put in more work than you.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do about it? Don't be jealous now. Be grateful for that person and continuously work on yourself, so you don't have that jealousy within.
Yeah. It won't serve you that way.
Exactly.
There's other ways you can make it serve you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man,
Cool.
a Black Man in Chad,
Black
episode
Man in
11.
Chad.
Make sure you guys tune in to our next episode, episode 12. Stay tuned. About to bring some heat for you guys. Man. And tell a friend to tell a friend, to tell a family member, to tell a hater. Subscribe, like the podcast. Yeah, keep going. Never give up.
Yeah. Love it.
Peace.